Hey everybody, it's Rainbow Ramblings. How you doing? I want to make a statement about Mallory and Macy Morphew through their lawyer petitioning the court to have their mother's remains so they can cremate her, scatter her ashes in Florida, and give her a Christian funeral service. I think it's antics that were cooked up in a plot with Barry to destroy the key evidence that he can't overcome in trial and gain a conviction. I want to set the record straight about some things. First of all, when Suzanne Morphew's remains were found and the autopsy was performed and the bones went to a funeral home, Barry was not yet charged with her murder. That was 6 months down the road. He could have, at that time, picked up the remains as next of kin and done whatever he wanted with them. If he was smart and he wanted to seem innocent in the public's perception, he would have said, "Oh my God, they found Suzanne's remains, the love of my life, and oh, how sad. But me and my daughters will get through this, and we're going to bury her and give her a beautiful funeral because she was a wonderful wife and mother." But no, he listened to Iris Itan, who told him, "Barry, don't take custody of the bones, because if you want to do your own testing on the bones or you want to challenge anything should a court proceeding come up, they don't want to say you broke the chain of custody and they won't listen to any evidence you have." So fast forward from February 2024, when he had an opportunity as the next of kin to take the bones and refused, to when he was finally charged. They then released the evidence to the public that the bones contained BAM, the powerful animal tranquilizer used to immobilize wildlife, not human beings, not the love of your life, your wife, the mother of your children. You don't immobilize that person and then murder them. So now, February of this year, Barry has his daughters, and I'm sure all three of them cooked up this plot, hire a lawyer and say, "Oh, we want to have our mommy and we want to bury your bones, but first we're going to cremate her." Well, first of all, the daughters have a home in Marco Island, Florida, that Barry bought for them as a way of hiding his assets. And Suzanne went to Marco Island for a vacation, and Jean Mormon was there. But Suzanne's not a Florida girl. She was born and raised in Indiana. And I'm sure that the Mormon family would like to have Suzanne's remains on Indiana soil, where she was born and raised, where her mother is buried, where her grandmother is buried, and where they can lovingly provide their own funeral and maintain a beautiful grave and honor her and visit her burial spot. So first of all, this is absolute cruelty to the Mormon family, which is disgusting and outrageous. It just shows how conniving the girls are to try to get her bones, cremate them, stick them in Florida where they have a property and they can be in control of the burial spot where her cremated remains, after they're scattered, where they're going to bury and urn. So it just shows that demonic and manipulative control Barry still exerts over his daughters. It's clearly a plot to gain control of the most damning evidence that will put him in prison. Nobody had access to Barry in that whole part of the state to BAM except for him. He owned a deer farm. He had prescriptions he filled in Indiana. He said he brought the BAM from Indiana to Florida. He used it to trank a deer in the breezeway by his house in April of 2020, and Suzanne was dead in May of 2020. When they examined his house for 10 days, they found the trank gun in a safe in his garage, but they didn't find, and a needle sheath, which was found in the dryer. But the actual chemical they didn't find. And you can go back to the original arrest affidavit and read that Barry was asked, hey, what happened to the BAM? What happened to the chemicals? And he says, not positive, but I could have thrown it away when I went to Broomfield. Oh, what an absolute clown and a bozo. You just incriminated the crap out of yourself, which he did a lot of times in that arrest affidavit. But anyway, so the thing was shot down by the court. They just posted their decision today. The daughters don't have burial rights as next of kin. Barry does. They didn't establish a foundation for the daughters to have a right to have possession of the bones and control over the remains. To do is what they're asking. But this is what I want to tell you. I'm working on a video called On the Trail of the Gravedigger. And I think Barry buried Suzanne in a watery grave, burial number 1. I've done a video about that. You should go back and check it out. They found her possibly in 2 different burial locations in Saguache County near Moffett and the Boneyard. One location and person is speculation. The other I can uncover. But I'm going to delay making that On the Trail of the Gravedigger video until I see if there's any more filings and see what's going to happen. Right now, the person that I've targeted, with good reason, as being the one who buried the remains in Moffett, is not yet on the witness list. And after this shenanigan move by Barry through his daughters, they may want to put this person on a witness list. And if he's on a witness list and the state can put him in a safe house or guarantee his safety, if I release the name and address without the protection of the court, I'm a little worried how people might react. So I'm going to sit on the video for a few days. I'm going to see what happens with the court, if they file anything else, they add anyone else to their witness list. And then I'll make a full video, as I promised, when it's safer and legally not iffy. And there's no doubt in my mind. See, and then people are asking Barry, oh, what do you think of this thing that your daughters want to bury their mommy? And, what do you think of that? And through his lawyers, he says, I have no comment. Sure, he has no comment. Barry can't, while he's standing trial for her murder, suddenly want to have her bones. He obviously put his daughters up to it to destroy the most damning evidence through this ruse of, we love our mommy and we want to bury her and we want to have a funeral service. Well, there might be more to come. This still might be a war over these bones. It's a key piece of evidence. So I'll stay on top of it. I still have all the information to identify the person I believe buried her in Moffett. But until this tug of war goes on, I'll just put it on the back burner for now. Let me know what you think about this stunt by Barry and his daughters to suddenly bury Suzanne. Peace, love, and donuts, everybody. Thank you for stopping by. And Barry Morphew, court is not a clown arena. It's not your personal playpen to mock justice and pull tricks and do shenanigans to thwart justice from raining down on you. God don't like ugly. He don't like you. He don't like your ugly daughters. He don't like your ugly shenanigans. A human being was murdered brutally and died. And there's going to be a trial to see if they can prove you did it. Until then, we don't need any distractions and any manipulations and any clown moves with trying to get your daughter to take key evidence, burn it, and bury it. Peace, love, and donuts, everybody. Thank you for stopping by. Barry Morphew, Macy Morphew, Mallory Morphew, you are despicable. God don't like ugly, and you're going to learn some lessons, in my opinion. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment, and I'll talk to you later. Have a good day.